I am, Chris. How you doing?
Great, buddy. I can hear you good, man. This is your first time on a webinar. Welcome and thanks for being here tonight. We really appreciate it.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here.
All right, guys. Well, I guess it was about 6 or 7 weeks ago, we unveiled the Keith Love Signature Series, and we're going to be unveiling the second coin in that series tonight. But before we get started, I wanted to give you guys a chance to kind of meet the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Keith Love, and give you a little bit of background about who he is and exactly what his role here is at Numis Network. So I want to take you through a little bit about who Keith is and make sure that you guys know exactly why we have teamed up with Keith and go through a little bit of his background. So first of all, Keith graduated University of Colorado. He has over 27 years in the rare coin business. He's internationally known as a wholesaler and grader of rare coins. He was one of the youngest ever to pass the grader's exam. He is the former grader and authenticator with PCGS. He contributed to the Annex coin grading set, and we're going to come back and touch on a little bit of this. Keith also started the coin grading company ICG in 1997. He not only was an instructor, but he also was a developer of the ANA curriculum on advanced coin grading. He consulted with the Secret Service in exposing counterfeit United States platinum coins being sold on the internet auction sites. Keith was also selected to grade and authenticate the Reed collection by the Western Heritage Museum. This included rarities such as the Parmelee specimen of the 1804 dollar that was valued at over $4 million. Keith has had articles published by many of the rare coin periodicals on subjects as varied as the ultra-rare 1804 dollar to evidence of a specimen striking of the Sacagawea dollar. That's a story that you're going to hear a little bit about tonight as I'm going to be interviewing Keith in just a second. And the great news for Numis Nation is that he's on our team. Guys, we have teamed up with what I would consider two of the greatest experts in the area of rare coins, and Keith Love and Mike Mezak, and we're excited to have Keith Love on the call tonight. And Keith, I want to go back to a few of these things that we covered in your bio, and maybe you can expand on it a little bit. First of all, talk about being the youngest to ever pass the grader's exam, and tell us a little bit about how you got started in the coin business. How did you even get interested in coins to begin with when you were younger?
Well, I think to get to the grading exam, you do have to start there. I had an interest in coin collecting when I was a kid, and had bought a lot of coins from some local coin stores. And around the time I was turning 16 is when silver had first gone to $50 an ounce, and it was time to buy a car being 16. So I had bought some coins, and I went to sell those in order to buy a car, and they were worth multiples of what I paid. So I was able to sell those and get a car. But I noticed something at the coin show, Chris, and what it was some coins that I would sell someplace for $20 that maybe I had previously bought for $4. I might see another dealer that was selling that same coin for $12. Well, I went over and bought the coin for $12 and went over and sold another one for $20. So I ended up making more money than just selling my coins. And I liked the coins, and I found that to be a lot of fun, to be able to buy and sell and trade something and make money on that. And of course, to be able to do that in the long run, expertise was required. So I started going to coin shows and learning about coins, and that's how I got into business, was going from collector to dealer when I saw how much fun it was to make money on coins.
Now, as an authenticator and grader, you actually worked for one of the top grading companies out there, one of the top three, PCGS. You started there as one of the youngest graders, and talk about that. I know that graders do pretty well today. Back in those days, did they make as much money as they make today?
Well, I'll tell you what, Chris. I worked at PCGS. I guess I started there when I was 22 years old, and came back and worked some more in my mid-20s there. And at the time, we made a lot of money. They were paying me like $40,000 a month to grade coins, and the reason, and you know, that would be a ton of money today, and back then it was a lot more money. And the reason was they were receiving so many coins, and they needed the top graders to grade the coins. So what they did was they went around the country, and anybody they thought might be qualified, they gave them a test, and the test was come in and grade 800, 1,000 coins for 3 days per day. So you grade about 3,000 coins, and they would look at your results and see how you did. And I passed the test and was able to get the job where, you know, over 90% of the people weren't passing. And, you know, I give them credit for that, you know, they weren't letting anybody just grade the coins. And I feel fortunate that I'd come along in my career already at a young age where I was able to pass that test and get that job. And, you know, that helped me out in numerous ways. Being at PCGS, you know, looking at over 1 million coins educated me tremendously on coins, even more so.
That's unbelievable. You know, I like you said, $40,000 a month is a lot today, but back then, I'm in '97 or around that time. I guess it was in the early '90s, mid '90s. That was a ton of money. I mean, that was just a lot of money. So let me ask you a question. You know, today when we look at grading and certification of coins, you know, we know that you can, if you're bulk grading, you can get maybe $15 or $20 per graded coin. You know, was it about the same fee structure back then? So let's say that was it about $20 to get a coin graded, or was it more back then?
You know, back then they didn't have bulk grading, and the minimum fee was $12. Some tiers were 20, and a lot of tiers were 40. A lot of guys were paying, you know, $20 and $40 a coin mostly to get their coins graded, and that's where, you know, they came in and had enough money to pay us graders. And one of the great things working there, Chris, wasn't just seeing the coins. I worked right next to a gentleman named Ron Howard, who was still at PCGS and had been in the business 20 years back then, and with Rick Montgomery, who is now the president of NGC, and he was one of our finalizers back then, and Miles Standish, who's was at Annex and went to PCGS and back to Annex and back to PCGS, but different experts like that where we would certainly share information and talk about the coins a lot. So a big thing in my life.
Well, that's awesome. I tell you, it's amazing to me when I hear about the salaries and the amount of money that coin graders make. I think it's something that's not very well known out there in the coin community. Certainly, I know with our representatives, I know that most people out there had no idea that coin graders make that much money. Well, speaking of Annex and PCGS, Annex is obviously the oldest coin grading company out there, and as you mentioned, talk about that. You know, you talked about Miles skipping around from Annex to PCGS and back to Annex and back to PCGS. Is that really kind of the way it is in this industry, where you see graders go from one company to the next, so that you see different graders will work for different companies throughout their careers?
Well, I would say two things. There's some graders, such as myself, who have graded at grading companies and then enjoyed the wholesale market, so traded, and then maybe gone back to grading and back to wholesale. And then there's some guys that have pretty much stuck with the grading only and worked at the grading companies. And within those guys, or even the guys that have gone wholesale, it's competitive to have quality graders. So when somebody needs a grader, usually the best place to find one is at another firm. And that's how those guys have moved around. For instance, I mentioned Rick Montgomery at PCGS had gone to NGC, and he's been there quite a while now. He was at Annex before that. So there definitely has been guys that have moved around, and I think that's pretty common.
Yeah, so I think that's one of the things, you know, you see out there in the marketplace. You say, well, one grading company is better than another grading company, and the reality is a lot of these graders have worked at all three companies or have worked at one or the other, and you've got graders like yourself that, you know, you were at PCGS and then you went to ICG and then you worked with Annex, and you know, Miles worked with PCGS and then Annex, and so a lot of these graders have worked at all three firms, and they're the same graders. And, you know, obviously the grading is subjective, but it really is a lot of the same guys grading the coins. So we know that you contributed to the Annex coin grading set. That was one thing we talked about. Talk a little bit about what that is. What is a coin grading set, and why is that a big deal when you're looking at a coin grading company?
Well, you know, we'll take my experience at PCGS as a for instance. When I went to work there, they and other grading services had come up with the idea that you want to be consistent in your grading. and the graders may not always be the same, and I'm an example of that. I was there, then I wasn't. But what I was required to do was each week look through a big set of coins that had been sort of stabilized as what their standard was. So the people had looked through experts' Morgan dollars and decided this is what an MS-64 looks like, and maybe they had 10 examples of that, different ones showing better luster or a better strike or different reasons for a 64. Then there were 65s and 66s and 63s. So in order to keep the standard the same, someone grading there now or at Annex now would go back and look through the same coins that I had looked back then. And that was a way to remain consistent even if the graders changed, which of course, in any profession they would. So when Annex developed their coin grading set, I was sort of in a lucky position to be from Denver, Colorado. The ANA, which is sort of the National Coin Collectors Club, is located in Colorado Springs and always has been. So I used to go to attend seminars down there when I was a kid and had all those resources available to me. So they were down there at Annex in Colorado Springs, and they needed what they considered to bring in 10 or 20 experts to come up with their grading set and refine their grading set, and I was selected as one of the people to go through coins and come up with what that set would be. And that was a lot of fun and something I took a lot of pride in.
That's awesome, and I think that what the folks out there have to understand is that all of the grading companies have these sets, which keeps the standards up for all the grading companies from Annex to PCGS to NGC to which are really the top three, as we know. Well, you kind of struck out on your own, and I think like many of the people that are on this webinar tonight, Keith, I think you've got that entrepreneur streak in you, like all of us, and you started your own company in 1997, ICG, and quickly became one of the top grading companies in the country. Talk about that experience a little bit of going out on your own and starting your own company.
Well, that was fun in a lot of different ways. One way was to learn about the capital market and raising money and starting a company, and secondly to have the opportunity to work with some experts like J.P. Martin and Walt Armitage and Mike Fahey, grading coins there, and start a company that had a good purpose and put out a good product, and that was a lot of fun for me, and an interesting project and something that I did from 1997 through 2006.
And you went on to, I believe, was it during that time period that you were an instructor and developed the ANA curriculum for the advanced coin grading course?
Chris, it was actually a little before that. In the mid-'90s, I was asked to teach the coin grading class at the seminar down in Colorado Springs at Colorado College, and that was a week-long course. And having taught that, and there were many dealers taking the class, kind of came up with the idea that we should have an advanced coin grading class. So I developed a curriculum, worked with Leonard Albright, who had previously been a grader and authenticator at Annex and PCGS, and went to him, and we came up with this curriculum and created that course. And they still teach that course using the same curriculum. I probably did that in about '94, so they've been doing that about 18 years now. And we did come up with a course after that where it was limited to 4 students with 2 instructors, where we would just take top dealers and teach them about coins. And we did that for a couple of years where they paid an extra premium. But once I started ICG, I no longer had the time to do that, so I believe that class kind of went away after that.
Well, that's awesome. So, obviously one of the things that a lot of people at Numis don't really understand is the extensive background that you have, and being one of our teammates, we really appreciate that, and we want to get that information out. But you've had a lot of experience in the coin business. You went on to, one of the most interesting things that you did was consult with the Secret Service in exposing counterfeit United States platinum coins that were being sold on internet auction sites. And I want you to talk a little about that, because I'd like you to really answer for me, as we see gold and silver, and you and I talk about it all the time, Keith, we still believe it's going to go higher for many, many reasons. But, as we see gold now having surpassed platinum in price, how prevalent of a problem do you think this is going to be in the future with the counterfeiting of coins, both platinum and gold, and probably even silver at some point? How big a problem do you think that's going to become?
I'll tell you what, Chris. Me and you talked earlier today that we were going to mention this platinum coin and the working with the Secret Service. And after we talked, I remembered that I was at a coin show, gosh, 10 days, 2 weeks ago, a big coin show, and looked through 16 $5 Indian gold coins. These are United States gold coins with a dealer, and 2 of the 16 were counterfeit. And so it is something that is prevalent and that's out there. And what happened back in, this was, I believe, 2000, I think it was a 2001 coin that we found in 2002, and it was just a 1/10 ounce platinum coin. And at the time, platinum was worth less than it is now. Gold was worth way less than it is now, and yet they were being counterfeit, and it was sold on the internet. And having found that, we contacted the Secret Service, and they came and looked at the coin, and we explained some things about it to them, and then they came back to us a couple months later to ask us more questions about how the coin was made and ideas on that. And we had heard later that they were able to track the origin of that counterfeit coin to an Asian producer. But one thing we learned when we're studying these coins is you have to study what the real coins look like, because you can't study what the fakes look like, because there's going to be more fakes tomorrow. So it doesn't do us any good to remember just that coin, because there'll be another fake tomorrow. And something I always recommend to people, it's not something that I don't know if I've talked about with Numis much, is no matter what coin someone's buying, if it's precious metal, certified is the way to go, whether it's BCGS, NX, NGC. Be sure you've got real silver, real coin, real gold, and certainly with the prices being high, we'll see more and more of that, just like I did a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I was out playing golf with one of my friends a few weeks back, and he come and he says, "Hey, you want to buy these Morgan dollars from me?" And I said, "Sure. How much do you want from them?" And he told me, "Well, I'll just charge you spot price." And I thought that was a pretty good deal. And then he let me keep the coins for about 10 minutes, and then he started laughing. He goes, "You know what?" He goes, "Me and my buddy actually bought these the other day, and they're actually counterfeit." So they weren't certified, they weren't graded. That was the thing. And it kind of taught me a lesson to never buy certified graded coin, a coin that's not certified and graded, unless you know where it's coming from, unless maybe you're going to buy it directly from the mint or from a dealer if you're buying bullion. But you just can't buy stuff out there on the internet today. I think that we've even seen a problem with some of the holders of some of the bigger companies like NGC and PCGS getting counterfeited. So it is important that you know who you're buying from. That's one of the safety nets that we provide at Numis Network is, you know where the coins have come from. You know that we got them from the mint, that Keith got them graded for us, and that they went straight to Numis Network, and they were they're graded and authenticated. So that's one of the keys, and I think a lot of people miss that value proposition in what we bring to the table with Numis, and there's tremendous value over that and buying a coin off the internet. So let's talk a little bit about the when you authenticated the rare specimen 1804 dollar. How cool was that to be able to grade a coin that was worth? Now, was the coin worth $4 million at the time you graded it, or that's what it's worth today?
I was actually looking at this graphic thinking about what that coin would be worth today, and I'm not sure what that would be worth today, but I would think in today's environment it would be worth a minimum of 5 and up to 7 million. And if I had to guess, I would just say $6 million. So that was I think the $4 million is something that was a few years back. And I'll tell you the interesting thing about that coin, Chris, was they contacted us. I'm not sure their entire process, but they selected our grading team to grade that coin. And we actually went to the museum. And if you know anything about grading services, they don't ever go to the coin collector, because part of their deal is being a third party. But certainly if you went to some collector's house, that wouldn't put you in the right spot to be acting as an independent agent. But in this case, we went to the museum in Omaha, Nebraska, where the Parmalee collection had been, actually it was the Reed collection, had been donated, and we were able to see the $1804 and a bunch of other rarities. And it was, just an incredible experience to be able to see all those coins, and we took a lot of pride in being the service that they chose.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, that's that's got to be one of the most expensive coins out there in the marketplace today. I know that we see the prices skyrocketing on some of the more rare coins, and I saw one just the other day. I think it was a cent that sold for 1.2 million or something like that, and I know one sold last year for about 3 or 4 million. I mean, it's amazing to see some of the prices on these rare coins today.
That cent, when you mentioned that cent, that jogged my memory, which makes me think the $1804 may bring 8 million now. Thinking about a cent going for 1.2 million, for sure.
Yeah, it's amazing some of the prices. So, one of the other stories that you shared with me several months ago that I really found very interesting was the story of the Sacagawea dollar and how you and your team found evidence of there being specimen striking on the Sacagawea dollar. And first of all, talk a little bit about that dollar, what its history is, when it came out, and I want to share with everybody that story of how you were involved with the initial year of the Sacagawea dollar coming out and what part you played in it. And then I'm going to give some people some examples of what happened to the value of those dollars that you graded out there.
Well, it was quite a crazy story. What happened was the U.S. Mint decided to make the Sacagawea dollars through Congress, of course, in the year 2000, and they contracted with Glenna Goodacre, or actually she won the contest, who is a famous artist, obviously, and she designed the front or the obverse of the coin, and Tom Rogers, a Mint employee, designed the reverse. Well, their fee for that was $5,000. Well, she got the idea, or maybe it was one of the Mint's marketing people, I'm not sure, that they should pay her the $5,000 in Sacagawea dollars. And the Mint did that. Well, Glenna Goodacre got these coins, and she kept them for a little while. And after a while, somebody contacted her, and I think, thought, wow, it would be neat if you could sell these as the special 5,000 coins that the designer got for designing the coin. And so she checked around and chose my team to grade the coins for her and put them in holders. And we thought, well, that's great. We'll number the coins 1 to 5,000. They'll be the special Glenna Goodacre dollars, and that'll be that. Well, we get the coins in, and instead of looking like regular Sacagawea dollars, someone at the Mint decided to make her special ones, and they weren't authorized or directed to by anybody. So we noticed that these coins were, and for lack of a better word, way more shiny than the average Sacagawea dollar and had way more detail, which to us indicated special striking, where there's a higher pressure on each coin to get the detail, and a polishing of the planchet, which is the coin before it's struck. And then we noticed that it really appeared the coins were polished after they were struck. So we ended up designating those as specimen coins. And what happened is when we did that, a big controversy arose because the Mint said, oh, no, they weren't special. They're just regular ones, because I think they were worried about being in trouble for creating a rarity. Well, a long story short is that they did make some of those coins that they did not polish after striking. So there were two types. There was about 125 of one type, and what would that be, 4,875 of the others. And at the time, Glenna Goodacre sold them for $200 each, and part of this controversy was people saying stuff like, wow, she's getting $200. She was supposed to make $5,000. Now she's going to make $1 million. And, that was part of the controversy. And then I don't know how long. I know when we first came out with all this evidence, other numismatists came out and said, oh, no, that's not possible. And I think it took 3 to 6 months to where it was accepted that these were specimen coins and special, and the other grading services started putting them in their holders and designating them as specimen also.
Well, that's pretty funny, because I think for people to realize the significance of this story, first of all, you've got the U.S. Mint, who is denying that they did anything special to the coins because they didn't themselves want to create a rarity. And then you have other numismatists out there saying that, oh, no, this isn't possible. The Mint would never do that. And meanwhile, your grading team, yourself included, you guys had realized that these were specimen coins. These coins were different, and you designated them that way. And so that was the start of that's how the Sacagawea dollar started. They paid Glenna Goodacre in Sacagawea dollars, created this rarity out there, and then people were kind of angry with her that she actually received $200 for the coins instead of the dollar that they were worth. Well, the funny thing is that Keith, you and I were out looking the other day, and I'm going to bring this page up. You and I were looking at coins, Glenna Goodacre coins, and this is how much these coins sell for today. We look, now this is right on eBay, and you can see that the lowest one here is $1,249, and the most expensive one is $2,975. So instead of getting $1 million, if you just average this out and say each coin's worth, $2,000, she should have gotten $10 million for these coins. But one of the things that I want to point out, Keith, because I think a lot of people that are in Numis, they kind of have the expectation that, maybe there's a chance out there that they may get a coin that might go up in value someday. I mean, this is a pure example of numismatic value. These coins are worth $1. They're $1 Sacagawea dollars, and they've gone up from $1 to some of them over $2,000 a piece. It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, and you know what's interesting about this, Chris? One of the reasons I think that some of the other numismatists at the time had a hard time accepting this is that they really weren't paying attention to Sacagawea dollars and modern coins. And we've talked about this before, but there was a survey about 5-7 years ago, and it came up with collectors' top 3 coins they were collecting were silver eagles, state quarters, and Sacagawea dollars. And all the numismatists have come around now to the fact that, wow, these modern coins are what people are interested in, what they're collecting. And, there's nothing that's more pure supply-demand than this coin you just showed. The only reason they're worth whatever that is, $2,000, is there's people looking for them that want to buy them to complete their collections.
So I think that it turns out that when you think about designing a coin for the U.S. Mint, and you might want to consider getting paid in those coins that you actually designed, that might be a little bit better deal than getting the paper cash, huh?
Yeah. Ask Glenna Goodacre. She's done really well. So, and obviously the people that bought from her have done even better. Actually, it turns out.
Yeah, just think about the people that bought those coins for $200 and now they're selling them for $2,000. They themselves have made a 10 times return on their investment. And well, it's just pretty amazing story. I know I was blown away by it when you shared it with me. And just for everybody out there on the webinar tonight, it just goes to show that the type of people that are on our team here at Numis with Keith and certainly with Mike as well. And having told you that story about the Sacagawea dollar, and Keith has been kind enough, and I know that we've been working on this for a couple of months, Keith, to try to get enough of these coins to offer as our second in our Keith Love Signature Series. Now, we do not, let me make it very clear to everybody on the webinar, we do not have the Glenna Goodacre Sacagawea dollars. But what Keith has done is he has gone out and acquired a few Sacagawea dollars from the very first year of issue, the 2000 Sacagawea dollar. Now, it's a proof coin. Now, this was the collector version. And Keith, talk a little bit about what the difference is between the regular Sacagawea dollars and then the proof coin that we have here tonight that's the very first year of issue.
Well, the mint looks at themselves as a manufacturer albeit with much more security than the average one. But their general purpose is to make coinage for all of us to use. So they're stamping out coins or striking coins and putting them out in circulation, and that's their job. And they do something beyond that, which is to make special collector's coins called proof. And this is to show their artistry and the best work they're capable of. And what they do for these is they polish the blanks, or the planchets, which is what the coin is before it's striked, the piece of metal. They highly polish the dies, which is what they stamp or strike the coins with, and then they strike them with high pressure and twice. And what this does is create a completely different looking coin where the devices, and that's the raised area of the coin, such as Sacagawea or the eagle on the coin we're looking at, end up with a frostiness on them because it's filled up the die all the way. And the fields are a mirror where you can see yourselves in them. So what this is you're showing is a first year of issue Sacagawea dollar in proof. And then what we've done is gone through a whole bunch of these and found the ones that graded proof 70 DCAM, which of course I'm sure you are all aware of is the perfect grade for any coin, 70.
Now, this coin is available in the back office for everybody. And one of the things that I want to emphasize to everybody on this webinar tonight is the reason that you're getting access to this special coin is because you are a Silver Premier member. Anybody who is a Silver Premier member will have access to the Keith Love Signature Series. Now, you know, Keith, I think you said earlier that the top 3 coins, modern issue coins that people collect are the Silver Eagles, and what were the other 2?
The state quarters and the Sacagawea dollar.
So you've got the Silver Eagles, which obviously we provide each of our Silver Premier Club members each and every year. We give them at least 1 Silver Eagle. Some years we have 2. If we got, like last year, we had one from the San Francisco Mint and the West Point Mint. And then, of course, we now have the state quarters. We have the National Parks quarters actually auto ship that's available now. That if some of you guys don't realize, we now have a $99 a month. You can get both state quarters or National Parks quarters on auto ship as well. And then this is the 3rd most collected modern coin out there in the world today. And what's so very special about this coin is that it's the very first year of issue. And Keith, talk a little bit about that for collectors, and why is the first year of issue always so significant in any coin release?
You know, it was interesting. I was talking to a dealer just a few days ago and offering him a coin, and it was part of a series, and his first reaction was, well, that's the 4th year. You know, if I've had a first year, I just have so much more interest in it. And in any series, the first year has a lot of issue because at the time of its release, it's new, it's exciting. People don't know if they're going to be changing the varieties or things like that. If you look at, you know, Lincoln Pennies, which is obviously a very collected coin, the 1909 SVDB is the rare one. It's the first year, and it's just something that people always want. And you know, the Silver Eagle, when we offer the 1986, if we ever get that in MS70 or Proof 70, it will sell faster and have more demand than even a 1988, which is a little bit more of a rare coin. And so just because there's so much demand, and with everything, you know, demand is part of any value equation. Just with those good acre coins we just showed, you know, without the demand, the price wouldn't be there. So there's always that demand for the first year.
Well, we know that this first year of issue is obviously the highest demand in the Sacagawea dollar. And, you know, I've looked out on the internet at different sites, and I've seen this coin selling from anywhere from 40, 50, upwards of 150. I've even seen some selling at $250 out there. So what we've done tonight, and this is something that we're very proud of here at Numis, because we are going to continue to bring our members pricing. One of the things about the Keith Love Signature Series is not only do we bring you very rare coins that you can't find anywhere else that Keith has actually acquired himself, but we're going to bring them to you at prices that you can't find anywhere else. This is bar none the lowest price on this coin that you'll find anywhere that I could find anywhere in the world, and it's only available to Silver Premier members. So this is a huge benefit when you're talking to prospects and when you're talking to people about our Silver Premier Club and what makes it so much different than anything else out there today. So you can get this coin tonight in your back office for only $24.95, guys. Now, here's the catch. We have a limited number of these, and you can only order one. You cannot have more than one coin. You can only order one coin, but you can get your first year of issue PR70, Proof 70, Sacagawea dollar for only $24.95. Guys, that's about 50% off of what you'll find the cheapest one out there. And again, this is a special benefit that we're going to continue to offer to only Silver Premier Club members. The reason that you get access to this coin is because you're a Silver Premier member, and we want you guys to take this coin and show it off and let people know why you were able to get access to this coin at such a low price. Now, the other downside, Keith, is that on these type of coins, we have limited numbers. There's not an unlimited number that you can get, and on this coin, I believe the maximum number we had was 130. So that means that everybody on this call tonight or on this webinar will not be able to get one, guys. We've got a couple of hundred people on here tonight. So it is limited to the first 130 people that log into your back office and get it. It's available, and I'm sure that just like last time when we had the 87 Silver Eagle, it will sell out tonight. So log into your back office and stick here on the webinar because I've got a very special announcement. Keith, I know you've got to run. We really appreciate your time, buddy. We appreciate everything that you do for Numis Network. Thanks a lot for being on the webinar tonight, and we look forward to having another Keith Love Signature Series in the next couple of months.
Well, hey, great talking with you, Chris, and thanks for having me. Have a good night now.
All right, thanks a lot, Keith. We'll talk to you later. All right, guys, so again, log into your back office to pick up the Keith Love Signature Series, the second, for only $24.95. Again, guys, we are bringing this to you at basically our cost because you are a member of the Silver Premier Club, and obviously we want to give you instant equity in this coin. Now, to the next big announcement tonight. And again, I want to thank you guys for being on this webinar with us tonight. The next big announcement is about annual convention. One thing I want to tell you is while you're in your back office, make sure that you register for annual convention. You're especially going to want to after I give you this next announcement. But at annual convention, we have just added the Numis Nation exclusive VIP party that's going to be on Friday night. Now, you cannot get into this VIP party on Friday night unless you earn it. So we are starting a contest that's going to start tomorrow that will allow you access to a very special VIP party at convention on Friday night. I think that's August 3rd. And here's the details. You're going to enjoy the pride and self-satisfaction of being one of those invited to attend our exclusive VIP party. You're going to get up close and personal with the founders and the company executives. You're going to mix and mingle with all the top reps. You're going to enjoy private conversations with our very special guest presenters that are going to be at the convention this year. And remember, this exclusive VIP party will be held Friday night after the first day's training and announcements. So it's going to be Friday evening, and there's only one way that you can get into the VIP party, and that's you're going to have to earn it. So let's talk about the points and prizes because we've got even more prizes than just the VIP party. That's just the first part. Here's how you earn points to get into the party. First of all, if you sign up a new customer for the Silver Premier Club, that's a customer, not a representative. If you sign up a new Silver Premier customer, then you will receive 10 points. To get into the VIP party, you need to have 10 points. What does that mean? It means you need to sign up one Silver Premier Club customer. Again, this is not a representative. This is a customer. The other way you can earn points is by selling a Fast Track Collector's Kit. That would be signing up a new rep who buys a Fast Track Collector's Kit, or also selling an accelerator set. If you sell an accelerator set, you can get 5 points as well. To get into the VIP party, you need 10 points. So either sign up one customer, 2 Fast Tracks, 2 accelerators, an accelerator and a Fast Track, and you're in. But there's additional prizes than just the VIP party. We guys, one thing we know is that it costs to come to the convention. You have to spend money on plane tickets or traveling or gas money and hotel rooms, and we want to give you an opportunity to earn a travel voucher to the convention. So we're going to have this contest where not only can you earn access to the VIP party on Friday night, but you can also earn a travel voucher. If you get 25 points, you're going to get access to the VIP party plus a $200 travel voucher. If you get 50 points, you're going to get access to the VIP party on Friday night, where, yes, Mr. Larry Thompson will be there as well on Friday night, and you're going to get a $500 travel voucher. If you get 100 points, you're going to get access to the VIP party plus a $1,000 travel voucher. Guys, this is something that every single person can qualify for. We want you all to come to the convention. Here's the catch for this contest. To receive points for the contest starting tomorrow, you must be registered for the convention. If you are not registered for the convention, you will not be on the leaderboard. You will not accumulate points. Guys, I'm going to tell you that Numis Nation, the next generation, August 3rd to the 5th, there's going to be the biggest event in Numis Network history. You absolutely do not want to miss it, and you want to earn your voucher to come there. So let's go through all the details. The contest starts tomorrow, May 24th, 2012, and it ends Sunday, July 15th. Guys, you have almost 2 full months to qualify and get your one customer or get your 100 points and earn that travel voucher to come to Orlando. Again, if you register tonight or are already registered for the convention, you can start earning points tomorrow. Again, the key is you must be registered for the convention to start earning points. So the sooner you register to attend convention, the more time you have to qualify. Now, think of this. You only need 10 points to attend the VIP party on Friday night. That means you only need to enroll 1 new Silver Premier Club customer, again, not a representative, or sell any combination of the following: 2 Fast Track Collector's Kits, 2 Accelerator sets, or 1 Fast Track and 1 Accelerator. Now, travel vouchers will be awarded to cover actual travel expenses incurred for attending the convention, like airfare, hotel room, rental car, gas, and tolls. And I want you to think about this for a minute. Think about this, because you actually have 69 days, I think, until convention, 70 days until convention. If in the next 70 days you simply enrolled 10 customers, you would earn a $1,000 travel voucher, plus you would be earning 3 coins each and every month, in addition to your normal compensation that you receive. In addition to the normal compensation, you would earn $1,000 for 10 customers, plus 3 free coins each and every month. So, guys, we really want you guys to be at convention. We want to help you pay for your expenses to come to convention. We want you to be part of this biggest event in Numis Network history. You guys are going to be absolutely blown away by what we roll out come August. We're very excited about it. You know, I got a chance to talk to my good friend, Mr. Ray Higna, today, and I know that he's excited about convention. And Jake and I were in the office today doing some more planning for convention. And, you know, Jake was telling me today, he says, you know, Chris, I don't think there's just one of the announcements that we're going to be making of the 4 or 5 major announcements that we're going to be making eclipse all the other announcements that we've made in the past. So it's going to be a very special event and a very special time to be part of Numis Network. So we want you guys to all be there. We want you to be there on Friday night as part of the VIP party. Anybody that earns this contest will also get special recognition at the convention. So, guys, we want everybody to earn this and be at that VIP party. Again, exclusive VIP party. Just be there. Everybody have a great night, and we look forward to talking to you soon. Bye-bye.